We are not only teaching Gen Z, we are teaching Gen Alpha. We are going to teach Gen Beta. Our job is a communicative job. The other side must understand what you are trying to say. Then it's effective.
There's always this very fine line between using their language, connecting with them, and trying too hard. Every generation has their own lingo. It's cringy when my parents or my teachers tried.
There is a fear of losing respect when it comes to usage of Gen Z lingo in class. Are you going down too much to their level that you lose your respect or your standing as a teacher?
So Naga, as teachers, do you think we should use Gen Z lingo in class?
I do use. My use is very intentional, very purposeful. Okay, let's look at it. First of all, I need to establish we are not only teaching Gen Z. We are teaching Gen Alpha. We are going to teach Gen Beta. I don't know where we are now. What are we? So basically, that's the problem, right? So the teachers come from a different generation. I mean, it's always the case. The teachers are much older than the students who we teach. So it is important because our job is, I would call it communicative job. You know, we are communicating something. And of course, when it comes to communication, the other side must understand what you are trying to say. Then it's effective. So that's teaching for me. I would take it like that. So when I look at my students, of course, here we are talking about students who are always on technology and all that. So I always have a problem of capturing attention. I mean, I think every teacher would say, you know, attention, capturing, engaging them meaningfully is always a problem. So I think I'm using Gen Z lingo, if we call it, as a tool in my classrooms to capture attention. I'm not sure whether it's right or not. Maybe some people would not agree, like parents or other teachers. It's wrong, or it's not. Given the fact that I'm an English teacher, that's even I just use it as a tool to capture attention of my students. And yes, it's working very effectively until now.
So your students will say that you're slaying it in the classroom?
They don't say that. They will not, even if they feel it, they wouldn't say it. But anyway, that's beside the point.
So I guess I'm asking because I guess there's always this very fine line between using their language and connecting with them and trying too hard.
Okay. Yeah,
how do you strike the balance? I mean, I think it's interesting. I think a lot of, teachers, even if they want to, it might not be easy for teachers to incorporate this new language into the vernacular. So how do you strike that balance?
Okay, see, and are you trying too hard? Has come out already in my lessons. Teacher, you're trying too hard. Teacher, you're not us. But you see that...
Oh, it does come out.
Of course it comes out because I use it to that extent already. So the thing is that even that, okay, it's my framing. Even that, teacher, you are trying too hard. I feel that I have captured attention through that, because they stop. Even if they're, like drowning in their thoughts or thinking, getting distracted about something else. When I use that, whatever word, like, what a sigma, that kind of thing,
Skibbity.
Yeah, skibbity, You see, the thing is that sometimes I also don't know the intensity of the meaning, but just mentioning it, I think it's very effective in them to stop what they're doing and then they just look at you. Then I get corrected. I just put the ball on their court, Usually I'm correcting their grammar. Now they get, teacher, that's not what it means. You're using it wrongly in the wrong context. I say, now you know what it feels like when you use the word in the wrong context. So I just feel that it's a good connection for me to use it in my advantage. Of course, again, I'm an English teacher. I say, don't write it. I don't want to see all these words. I mean, I've got students, in the compo and then in the dialogue. My student, when he received his results, exclaimed, what a skibbity. I'm like, no, you can't write that in your compo. But that I am quite clear. But I think it's just verbally when we relate to them in class and all that. When you feel your students are droning off or not as engaged as what you want them to be during that time, I think whenever I inject these kind of words, it just brings them back to life and connects them with me. I just use it for that purpose.
I think if I'm being very honest, I think first of all, I deal with the older kids.
Yeah.
So I don't have to... I guess there's less expectation that I do that, right? So JC economics is just inherently a bit more intense, so I don't have to. But if I'm being very honest, like I think even if I'm teaching the primary school classes, I can't bring myself to do it because I think I'll fall into the trying too hard category, right? Because it's just not natural, right? It's not gonna. First of all, I'm probably gonna use them wrongly, and it's just gonna be very forced. And when it's very forced, it stops. Like I don't know, like I just feel like it will undermine the whole effectiveness of what you're trying to achieve, right? Because I say this from our own, I guess our/mine experience as a student, because I think the whole notion of new lingo is not new.
Of course.
Every generation has their own lingo. Like, in our time, it'll be, oh, that's really lame. Like, lame wasn't a thing, right? But lame became a thing.
Yes.
I can't remember what else. I mean,
Random.
yeah,
The word random is the worst. Okay? Because,
random is correct.
Random, yeah. So
Random is correct.
you know people's age when they don't understand what random means. It's very obvious. Yeah. So these kind of words. We also had our own millennial lingo, or whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
So we also had these kind of words, and the previous generation or the previous generations will not understand. It is just a particular thing each generation will have.
Yeah, no, so the thing is, I found it very cringy when
See?
my
Cringy.
parents...
You're using it already.
It's very cringy when my parents or my teachers tried. So I guess it might be a me thing, right? Because I'm like, it's cringy. So as a teacher/parent, I'm not going to try hard to do it. I'm going to try to connect in a different way. How do you reconcile that?
Okay, I whether I'm trying too hard or not, you must ask my students. This one is not a question for me. They will evaluate me or the effectiveness of my usage of the lingo. But I feel that I am more... Okay, then again, you see, why you find it a bit maybe trying too hard? It's personas of teachers, right? So I am a bit more, I would say, friendly teacher. I like to talk. Things which connects with the student's life. I like to know what the students are thinking, feeling, or going through in their life. And that's my teaching style as I come back to it. So when you have such a teaching style, it connects easily. This whole lingo goes in easily for you because that's how because you want to know more about what they're thinking. So the connection is there, established. If you're a bit more the stricter, the firmer kind of teacher, and then purpose of your teaching is to really get the content you're trying to convey or teach within that time to get to them, especially with the older kids, as you said, the JC kids and all that. They come to our lessons for a purpose, to get to that knowledge in that particular period of time, absorb as much as possible. So, and then they are a bit more focused at that age and maturity. So I don't think it's necessary, but I am, as I said, dealing with different group, primary, secondary group, where the attention span is very short. So I connect attention span with this. I use this as a medicine for the attention span disease, I call it. So every 10 minutes, they are droning off. They are thinking about something else. I give them a 5-minute task, read the comprehension passage, and then halfway reading, already, you look at their face, they're like, oh. I say, so I always inject these words in just to connect with them, and then they understand. They understand these terms better when I use it correctly. I hope I do. But if I use it correctly, it makes sense. And I turn the tables also. Like example, when I use these terms, like example, you said slaying, So when they do something well, and I say, oh, you have slayed this compo, they will understand. They're happy. That of course, it's a compliment for them. But at the same time, they're like, okay, teacher, yes. But they'll be like, but don't say it again. Don't phrase it like that. Can we not use it? But this discomfort, or I don't know what you call it, it just makes me, I feel more connected to them. Even though we come from a different age group, we are teacher-student relationship kind of thing. But I think it's just a point of connection, a point of conversation. We go into a conversation. Why not? And then I've got my students who tell me, I think you're simply too old for this word. And I say, okay, is it? Why not? I beg to differ. I would say I would like to use it. And if I'm using it wrongly, it's your responsibility to correct me, like how I correct your grammar. So this is how my classroom teaching goes. So it really helps me. But again, then there's the junction, right? Respect problem. I think that's where I think our previous generations or the generations before us come into play, where they feel that when they use this lingo, respect goes down. And I think respect is very important when it comes to teacher-student relationship issue, how you convey, present yourself. So there is a fear of losing respect. I think that's what I think we have to talk about. When it comes to usage of lingo, Gen Z lingo in class. Are you going down too much to their level that you lose your respect or your standing as a teacher? I think that's a fear a lot of teachers have when it comes to using it more freely. So, like example, I've got teachers, colleagues who ask me things like, if you use it and they use it back on you, are you feeling that you are losing your foothold as a teacher, your respect in the classroom, your presence? And I said, no. I think if you value the connection you have with your students in the classroom more, I think respect will come in naturally. I think I would be, I can say very strongly that by using this, I gain more respect. I mean, some people might disagree with me that you're doing too much. You don't need to do that. If you are firm and strict and all that, that's commanding respect already. But I think that's again, the persona of the teacher is very important. My persona is like that. I'm friendly, and through being friendly and being understanding, I connect with the students and I gain respect like that. So Gen Z lingo fits in for me nicely. If you are firm and strict and that's how you think you can get the respect and the attention from the students, fine, which is actually the regular way usually teachers do it. And I think then Gen Z lingo, it's a risk factor there that you might break the flow of the communication with the students you have. So I think that is the junction we have to be careful about. Your persona as a teacher in the classroom, how you relate with the students, whether it's going to hinder it or whether it's going to help enhance it.
I think the part I really agree with is the connection part. I guess I do it too in a different way. So I think some of the more notable things that I do is I like to watch stand-up comedy. But I like to watch the a bit wittier kind,
not the slapstick.
not the slapstick kind. So I like Michael McIntyre as an example. I wanted to say Ricky Gervais, but his content is not very appropriate for the classroom. But my point of bringing the whole stand up thing up is because when I'm teaching, I will make snide remarks about I'll laugh about Malaysia and their poor quality of cars, because it just builds into the whole. Singaporean classroom, right? Singaporean students, they like the superiority thing. So I'll slip that in. I'll make a joke about how Donald Trump's more racist now. America is not so pro-immigration. So because I'm teaching 17, 18-year-olds, I think they get that, right? So I do the connection in a different way. And I think that's just a different manifestation of what you try to do with the lingo. I think if we broaden the definition a little bit, what we're really just trying to say is that it's important to speak your students' language on some level, not literally.
Of course.
I think joking about things that they find relatable.
Yeah.
It's also speaking their language, right? Making references to pop culture references, like what they might be watching on Netflix and all that. It's also speaking their language. I think one thing that stuck with me, that you mentioned earlier on in our chat was teaching is a communications thing, right? I feel like in one of the earlier episodes, I said that I think teaching is a performing art. Teaching is a bit of a performance art. It's a bit like, putting up a play or giving a speech, right? Because you have to prepare, you have to come in, you have to deliver. And so I think we're really, really aligned here. And, at the end of the day, every teacher's challenge is how do we get the students to listen to us, really listen to us and not just be there and hear us.
Correct.
And I would say if you can get them to listen to you, that's 70% of the battle won. So Gen Z lingo or not, as long as you can hold their attention, it's a great classroom experience.